Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to the King CJ Music Podcast, where we talk music, pop culture, and all other things related to music, to music, to music. Anyway, listen. So, I've had a blast filming these next couple episodes, and so you'll hear me. I might sound a little bit different. Almost like I'm far away from the microphone. Away, away, away. Anyway, let's have a conversation, shall we? Okay, so we're going to talk about this episode, and it's roughly, I feel that I'm dragging this on, but I think people are having conversations now, and so with people having conversations, they want to hear about like why we're talking about Drake. And to many, I think we have this conversation, but it's not quite clear. And that in itself is interesting to me. Because I think if the issue is that any rapper could have done this without Drake, that's false. That premise is false. Strictly because a lot of artists, including the one that people love called Kendrick Lamar, has also stated multiple times in interviews and in pretty much other things that Drake helped him succeed because people didn't want to take him on tour. So with that premise, I have a question. Because people keep saying, well, he's not doing it the way we want to. Because originally the argument was, and this is the argument that people had, but it didn't help. The argument was, Drake's not a real rapper because he doesn't put out rap music. So this is my question. If he doesn't put out real music or he didn't help hip-hop, I have some questions. Right? I do. That first question, of course, is if A$AP Rocky, Kendrick Lamar, other artists have said thank you to Drake previously in interviews. Why is this the conversation? Because originally people said Drake couldn't rap. Right? Kendrick rap like us. And for some reason, he pushed up, which proved he could rap. Then people said he uses songwriters. Quentin Miller, for example. What happened? We got No Face. We got It's Up. We got a lot of different singles on 100 gigs. To show that he was marketable. That he wanted to prove that he was marketable. That he could distribute and still do numbers. Which I think No Gigs, even after the release, did numbers. Right? When he put it on streaming platforms. Right? So this is my question. And so a lot of people are saying this. And this is the consensus. Oh, Drake is not a rapper. Heard Elliot say, for example, that, he should have been making a hit because he can make them. He can. People say he should have went to Atlanta. Kendrick said he's gonna go to Atlanta to make music. Okay, but Young Thug put out a tweet saying, "Hey, Future and Drake have never been unbeaten. They put a whole album out. The album was great for people." So I ask you this question again. What's the conversation? And if the conversation is, oh, well, he hasn't done much for hip-hop. On a large scale, he kind of did. So this, as I said, this is interesting to me because we seem to have this conversation and it's strictly about Drake. For example, 50 Cent said he didn't lose. A lot of people, Drake didn't lose a lot of people. He never did, right? Because people say, oh, only people that listen to Drake are people that aren't real men, and that's the conversation. But like when we talk about conscious rappers like Little Sims, Stormy, Skept, The Ville, when we talk about Black Thought, we talk about J. Cole, we talk about artists that talk about conscious rap but also make it fun. People don't support them. So is the issue in itself this, or is it that? And it's weird because I keep hearing this conversation in certain groups, and then when you ask certain people, oh yeah, I love a Partners Round. Because people are like, okay, he should be making music, and many people didn't want a Party Next Door album and Drake, which I think is interesting, right? Because y'all didn't want an R&B album, but y'all said he's R&B. Y'all said y'all like him with the melodies, so when he goes to an R&B album party, what, y'all don't like him with the melodies no more? Like, it's like, I don't get it. Y'all said don't go to Atlanta. He didn't go to Atlanta. Y'all gonna say don't go to the coast. He didn't go to the coast. And when it got P&D, and then P&D, like, I'm missing the point. Y'all don't want a P&D album, but y'all say y'all love him with the melodies. Where he supposed to go? Because y'all don't want him working with rappers, because he's not a rapper, right? But if he go, I'm gonna go do the melodies. Since y'all like the melodies so much, I'm gonna go do the melodies. He go do the melodies. It was a Party Next Door album where you're gonna hear a lot of melodies. Y'all don't want it. I mean, like, I don't understand it, right? Because no one told him to party out with Party Next Door. Who is he supposed to party out with? Can't go to Atlanta with Future. I mean, like, this is the thing. And then people are like, I don't want Drake to rap. He gave us Push Up. He gave us No Face. He gave us This Up. I'm just like, first y'all said he couldn't rap. He did No Face. And then he did Push Up as a response, right? But then y'all hate The Hard Part 6 because I'm like, it was a flip when it came to the Hard Part 5 series, right? It's interesting because y'all like, oh, we want club mixes. We like him with the melodies. So let him go get Party or Bryson Tiller and do it with the melodies. Like, I don't get it because y'all are like, we didn't want that. Party Next Door dropped an album in the middle, a scheduled album, I should say, a scheduled album in the middle of Drake and Kendrick's beef. And I mean, if we stick to tradition, Drake's been on every Party Next Door album. On almost every. Right? On every album. So he wasn't on the current P&D 4, but I mean, he was in the middle of a beef, so he couldn't get on it. Okay. I mean, what do y'all want? I mean, I just don't understand the issue because he does music because the artists love it. It blows up. He does what American artists people have an issue with, but the constant thing I hear, and especially through this thing, is, oh, we like Drake with the melodies. Like, if you like Drake with the melodies, let him go to Party Next Door so you can do some melodies. People are saying that no one wants it. And I'm just like, if no one wants Drake with the melodies, why did Kendrick say, I like Drake with the melodies? And then everyone was like, I want Drake with the melodies. Well, if you want Drake with the melodies, let him go to Party. Like, I don't get it. I just don't get, like, this hypocritism, right? I don't. It's weird because they're like, we don't want that. Okay, if y'all don't want that, then what do y'all want? Right? Because he's trying to sign a new deal with another company that they should give him an advance. And I think, he had to prove it. They probably said, you have to prove it to us. He proved it with 100 gigs. He released it free. There's a bunch of videos. If you watch it on file, it's like a 3-hour watch. But it takes some time to watch. So I just don't. This is a conversation, and people are like, it was like no effect. I'm like, cool, because 50 said there's no love, there's no like thing against it. He didn't really lose anybody. RZA said the same thing. He's like, it's not really a hate thing. He's just a talented artist. He's a talented artist in that aspect. And so if Kendrick's a freestyler, it's the question of if he's a talented artist, then let him do what he do. Because y'all already said he's not a rapper. So, I mean, the issue is, hey, we want something as a rap. We want something as a rap. We want something that's still good. Okay. So, I'm missing this argument that, like, everyone thinks they have. Oh, we like Drake with the melodies. I'm just like, if y'all want Drake with the melodies, I'm going to Party Next Door. I'm going to Bryson Tiller, because I think we can get some more. Right? It's just, it's interesting. I love music as a whole. I do. But it's concerning because I'm like, Okay, just say yeah. If I don't, I think if you're charged with a crime and you did it, then I think we should argue music, and I think that's another thing. But if the conversation is he didn't lose anybody, he didn't lose anything, he didn't lose any love. What has hip hop been doing this past 2 weeks or this past month, really? Where they're like, oh no, he's a talented artist, but he's not this. When he wrote 30 Hours for Kanye, I'm just like, what are we being selective? I'm just like, this is interesting. Because y'all will say, we want conscious rap, and I'm like, I can name you four. Rhapsody. I can argue for a Rhapsody, Remy Ma, Little Sims, Stormzy, but they're UK rappers, right? I can think of a lot. But if you go ask somebody, okay, y'all want conscious rap, go. Oh, Cleo, Little Sims, No Name. That's what I was missing, No Name. Like, we have conscious rap, but I don't know what's up with the American version of this, right? Because they never get any love. Like, they don't. No Name got no love, but when she responded to Kendrick, no love. Kendrick responded. Right? J. Cole responded, Kendrick didn't. I just think this is the thing. Like, if you're gonna respond, respond. And I just don't know. Because if I was like, he's not a rapper. If he's not a rapper, he's done so much for hip hop. If y'all want to exclude him, that's fine. And we'll get into it when J. Cole goes, you'll never understand this aspect of it. The issue is the perception of rap being a single family thing isn't true. A lot of people that love rap or into rap are like dual family homes. I don't know if it's a narrative. I don't know if it's this, and I think to go and say, oh, if you part of this, you part of this, right? It's a weird line because I'm like, how many people? If this is what y'all gonna stand on, how many people know Malcolm X's name before he? We're picking because we'll go, oh, you're part of this, okay. So who was James Baldwin? And I'll be like, I don't know who James Baldwin is. I don't know Franklin Douglas, Martin Luther King. I know this. You ask them who's. It's just interesting to me that hip hop's so exclusive because they want to keep it to certain people, but when people make music that aren't the traditional types of music, we're like, you're not hip hop. It's a weird concept because I've seen this. And so when J. Cole goes on the port of Antonio and goes, I've been judged by my color. Like, this is an issue because they've come at his color a couple times. Saying that he isn't this because he isn't this. Like, J. Cole's been attacked because of his color. Because of him not doing this. Of him doing this. And I think you just I don't really care for this. Right? Because if this is the stereotype we're keeping for hip hop, fine. But just because people like the Alchemist, Eminem, J. Cole, which I don't get the Eminem thing, but it's weird because you're young with nobody, and it's like we like him with the melodies. Just come on. If that's the case, come on. But then people are saying on Forbes that it's it was just fun. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go, so and so's this, but it's just for fun. I didn't mean nothing by it. That just feels weird to me because I'm like, it's weird to me because it's like, oh, he's not American, so it's not this, and he's not part of organizations like this, and this. It's weird, only because it's a lot of people that wouldn't fit in or if we were really be exclusive on certain things and not include people. A lot of people wouldn't necessarily fit in these groups. In these groups that we consider this, a lot of people wouldn't fit. Right? And it's so weird to me. Because why are we still judging people by a system that is old as time? It's weird to me because it's getting It's weird, man. It's a weird time to live in because I think it's weird. So with that being said, I do hope you enjoy the King Caesar podcast. Um, I said weird a lot in the editing of this, and I do apologize. But if you enjoyed listening to the episode, well, this is the King CJ Music Podcast, where we talk music, pop culture, and all of that every other week.